30,000 feet above the Atlantic, Flight 472 cruised smoothly through daylight skies. Sunlight poured through the oval windows, casting warm golden hues across the cabin. Passengers chatted softly, reading, watching movies, or simply drifting into mid-air peace. Flight attendants moved quietly down the aisles, their smiles calm, their steps steady. It was, by every measure, an ordinary flight. Until a voice broke the stillness. "Ladies and gentlemen," the captain began, his voice trembling slightly. "If there are any combat pilots on board, please come forward immediately." Silence fell like a thunderclap. Heads turned. A murmur rippled through the cabin. Some laughed nervously, thinking it a joke, but the fear in the captain's tone told another story. In seat 10B, a woman looked up from her book. Her name was Elena Carter, 29 years old, former Air Force fighter pilot. She had left the military 2 years ago after a mission that went horribly wrong, a mission that haunted her still. She had sworn never to fly again. But as the captain's plea echoed through the air, something deep inside her stirred, instincts buried but never gone. She looked out the window. Clouds were thickening, sunlight fading. A storm was coming. Her heart pounded. "Not again," she whispered. Yet, in that moment, she knew. Peace wasn't meant for her today. Without another thought, Elena unbuckled her seatbelt, stood up, and began walking toward the cockpit, unaware that she was walking straight into destiny. All eyes followed her as she made her way down the aisle. Whispers spread like wildfire. "Is she really a pilot?" someone murmured. "What's happening?" Elena ignored them. Every step brought back flashes of her past, the roar of F-16 engines, the deafening sound of missiles, the haunting screams of her last mission. She reached the cockpit door. A flight attendant hesitated, fear in her eyes. Elena's voice was calm but firm. "Combat pilot. Let me through." Inside, the cockpit was chaos. Warning lights blinked red, alarms screamed. The captain was pale, his uniform damp with sweat. His co-pilot was unconscious, oxygen mask askew. "Autopilot's dead," the captain gasped. "Controls barely responding." Elena took one look and knew the gravity of the situation. "I'm Elena Carter, former USAF fighter pilot," she said. "Move over." The captain's eyes widened, torn between disbelief and relief. "You know how to handle this." "I've handled worse," she replied, sliding into the co-pilot's seat. The plane jolted violently, turbulence shaking the cabin. Outside, the sky darkened, lightning flashing across the clouds. "Hydraulics?" she asked. "Failing." "Engines?" "Unstable." Elena gritted her teeth, scanning the instruments. "Then we fly it manually." She grabbed the yoke, her muscles remembering what her mind had tried to forget. The plane groaned as if alive, fighting her every command. "Hold together," she whispered. Her focus sharpened, her breathing steadied. She wasn't just flying a crippled jet, she was fighting fate itself. The sky turned violent. Thunder roared as the aircraft plunged into the storm's heart. Rain hammered against the windshield, lightning flaring like artillery fire. Inside the cabin, passengers screamed, clutching their seats. Overhead compartments rattled, trays fell, oxygen masks dangled. The world had become chaos. But in the cockpit, Elena was calm. "Left engine fluctuating," she said, adjusting power levels. "Hydraulics at 40%, the captain replied weakly. "Then we keep her alive," she muttered. Every move was instinct, adjusting thrust, countering crosswinds, balancing the dying engines. Her eyes flicked from one control to the next, her hands steady. She had done this before, in combat under fire, with death chasing her tail. The difference was, this time, 300 lives depended on her. The captain groaned, clutching his chest. "You okay?" she asked. "Just keep going," he whispered. She didn't hesitate. "Copy that." Outside, the clouds were merciless. Turbulence slammed the aircraft sideways. "Come on, girl," Elena murmured to the jet. "Stay with me." The storm lit up again, revealing the sea below, churning in dark. For a fleeting second, the plane dropped sharply. Gasps echoed from the cabin. Elena tightened her grip, pulling the yoke up with every ounce of strength. "We're not done yet," she said through gritted teeth. Her voice carried the same steel that once led squadrons through fire. For years she had avoided the sky, afraid it would break her again. But now, in the heart of the storm, she remembered who she was: a pilot, a warrior, a survivor. Minutes felt like hours. The storm refused to let go. The captain's hands trembled, his voice fading. "We're losing altitude," he gasped. Elena scanned the instruments, warning lights everywhere. "Hydraulics at 20%. Fuel dropping fast." She tightened her grip. "We're not going down today." In the cabin, fear spread like fire. Passengers cried, prayed, clung to one another. A little girl whispered, "Mom, is she an angel?" Her mother, tears in her eyes, whispered back, "Yes, sweetheart. She is." Back in the cockpit, Elena's focus was unbreakable. She searched the horizon. "Come on, give me something," she muttered. Then, faintly through the rain, she saw it. A strip of light in the distance. "Captain, I've got a runway. Coastal base, maybe 20 miles out." "Too short for us," he croaked. "Then I'll make it work." Static crackled through the radio. "This is Delta 472, former USAF pilot at controls, requesting emergency landing." Silence. Then a calm voice replied, "Copy that, Viper. You're clear to land. We're with you." Elena exhaled slowly. She adjusted flaps, recalibrated power. The storm fought harder, tossing the plane from side to side. "Brace for turbulence," she said. Her muscles burned, her pulse steady. Every motion was a battle, against gravity, fear, and time. Lightning flashed one last time as she descended through the clouds. "Easy," she whispered. "We're almost home." For the first time since takeoff, she allowed herself to believe they might survive. The runway appeared through sheets of rain, a thin strip of hope carved into chaos. "Crosswinds 20 knots," the captain warned. "I see it," Elena replied, jaw clenched. She adjusted thrust, fighting the push of the wind. "Steady, come on, stay with me." The first wheel hit asphalt, hard. The plane bounced, then slammed down again. The cabin erupted in screams. Elena pulled reverse thrust, engines howling. The jet skidded, sparks flying. Her arms ached, her breath shallow, but she didn't let go. Hold, she whispered. The aircraft slowed, violently, then gradually, until finally silence. They had stopped. For a moment, no one moved. Then, applause, sobs, disbelief. The captain turned to her, eyes wet. "You just saved 300 souls." Elena's hands trembled as she removed her headset. "No," she whispered. "They saved me." She sat in silence, the storm easing outside, sunlight breaking through the clouds. For the first time in years, she felt peace. Passengers began to unbuckle. A little girl ran forward, hugging her leg. "Thank you, Angel." Elena smiled through tears. "You're welcome, sweetheart." Outside, rescue crews rushed forward, but inside, no one wanted to leave. They had just witnessed something greater than survival, courage reborn. Elena looked out the cockpit window, her reflection framed by the rising sun. "Guess I still remember how to fly," she murmured. Hours later, the storm was gone, replaced by the gentle calm of daylight. Reporters gathered, headlines already spreading. "Former Air Force pilot saves 300 lives." Cameras flashed, but Elena Carter wanted none of it. She walked down the tarmac quietly, jacket over her shoulder, the sound of waves in the distance. The captain called after her. "You're a hero, Elena." She smiled faintly. "Just someone who remembered who she was." Passengers lined up to thank her, handshakes, hugs, tears. The little girl from before ran to her again, clutching a drawing of a plane with wings made of light. "This is you," she said softly. Elena knelt, her heart swelling. That's beautiful. Keep it safe for me, okay? The child nodded and smiled. Elena stood, gazing back at the aircraft that had tested her, broken her, and somehow healed her too. The skies stretched endlessly above, blue, vast, forgiving. I thought I left you, she whispered to the horizon. But you never left me. In that moment, she realized something profound. Peace wasn't found by running from storms. It was found by flying through them. As she walked away, sunlight bathed her face, the echoes of engines fading behind her. The storm had tested her. The sky had reminded her. And Elena Carter, the woman who had sworn never to fly again, became a legend in the light of day.